Marathon, the Kingdom Hearts 2 Critical Run, Joel Edition. Cool, how we looking? Before we begin?
Looking.
Sound check!
Obligatory sound check. Yep, we're fine.
Alright, I think we saved already. Let me save one more time.
Yeah, I would say one more time just to be on the safe side, because this is where things, I imagine, I know, I didn't say this last time, Joel, but I have a feeling, Land of Dragons is going to be where you start struggling. And Master Riku's here, it's up, man.
Man, you get it quick. Yeah. Let's see if we can get, I think we can at least get past Land of Dragons.
I believe so, too. I imagine we'll probably get past more than that.
Well, I want some time to grind.
Well, yeah. But we also want to, we want some action, Joel. We want some action. Plus, remember, also, obligatory time falls back tonight, folks. So if you are on the East Coast right now, then time's going to fall back not too long from now.
I'm on the West Coast, so I don't have to worry about it for a few more hours.
Yep. That's Ricky going to be in and out because I got to get some dinner. That's alright, man. We'll be here. Also, obligatory run through things, of course. If you see a thing in the upper left-hand corner, that's a notification. If it's blurred out, don't worry. That will happen. We should probably turn off notifications eventually. Ooh, Master Riku won't have a steak.
Yum, yum. Yumma yum.
I haven't eaten steak in a while. I usually have to have it cooked a certain way. Or at least spiced up in an interesting way.
I had ribs today.
Ooh, ribs. Where'd you have it from?
Lucille's.
Nice. Also, McRib at McDonald's is back.
Yum. I don't eat the McRib. I only like my ribs from Lucille's. Master Riku likes his ribs medium. Yes.
See, I like mine medium well. I like a little blood, but not too much, so it doesn't. So it's not like I'm eating straight off the cow. So you know.
I might also struggle a lot at Olympus Coliseum. I think that's gonna be a hard one.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember where I struggled the most in my critical run.
I saw a critical run I had a critical run that I watched that somebody struggled with the escaping from Hades section.
Yeah, I can see that. Do you remember where I struggled in mine, Joel? Because you watched pretty much all of it.
Oh, I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
I remember Land of Dragons being a pain.
Oh yeah, especially those. So there'll be some deaths there because of those. Oh, Toontown with the cars.
Oh, fucking hell! Don't remind me about the cars, Joel.
Hi, Vigriff.
What's up, Vigriff? Joel's making me relive bad memories of those damn car Heartless. They look so stupid, but they are hard as hell.
Oh, dang.
They're even worse versions in the Cavern of Remembrance.
Yeah.
Before anyone else asks, yes, we did see the new Tangled Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. It looks great. Sounds great as well.
Can't tell if it's Mandy Moore or not, but car Heartless Vigriff. The cars.
Yeah, can't tell if it's Mandy Moore, but whoever they got sounds great. Vigriff says, "Oh no, I get it." Yeah. I like the address they got for her, if it is Mandy Moore or not.
Here.
You know? Yeah. So everything's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love how they've integrated the scenes of Rapunzel having her back and forth of this is the best day of my life. I'm a horrible person.
And I also love, and it's now completely confirmed that yes, they are definitely party members.
Yay.
That's good. She'll actually probably be she's actually the first princess, technically, to be a party member.
Ariel's technically a princess.
Princess of Heart.
Is Rapunzel a princess of Heart?
Probably a new one, yeah.
Vigriff says.
I can't tell which is worse, the Hot Rods and their palettes or the Crimson Jazzes. Which one are the Crimson Jazzes? Vigriff, are those the ones in the Cavern of Remembrance? Because if they're in the Cavern of Remembrance, then yeah. One game I would suggest to play besides this Strong Bad School game for attractive people. Okay, on multiple platforms, but it is on PSN now. That's interesting. That's a very long ass name.
I love Sora just leaning back on the tree all relaxed while Eugene is like just leaning back all grumpy. And then Rapunzel just swinging around. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Also, I guess indication of Mother Gothel.
Yeah, actually, I think I told you this, Joel. The voice actors from Mother Gothel's been confirmed to be coming back.
I can't wait to see what that world is like.
Me too.
Did you check any of
the ones that look like Ragnarok turns in? They're very. Oh yeah, those things. Yeah. Mr. Riku, Hot Rods. I hate those Heartless. Yeah, you and me both.
Did you check any of the other news for the game that within the panel that might miss, Cole?
While you're doing this, I'll have a look. So if I don't read any comments real quick, just give me one quick second, people. So let's take a look.
If you had to add
there was not a lot of new information added.
If you had to add demons into a Disney cartoon, what type of demon would they be? Well, we already have Dream Demons with Bill Cipher, I guess. By the way, Vigrev, did you get that video I sent you for that show, Has Been Hotel? I think it's called Has Been.
The one thing that was talked about is someone asked him about DLC and he says they're not at launch, but they're considering it post-launch, which is a good sign.
I'm sure the game will have plenty of stuff that doesn't need DLC, like Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I much more appreciate a game that comes out saying, "Oh yeah, we're not going to talk about DLC yet." I like that. Also, apparently the Gummy Ship gameplay has been shown with both free roam and on-rail sections, so that's pretty cool.
Huh. I think Bill for Disney cartoons. I think demons like Bill honestly work kind of better even in Kingdom Hearts. Kind of that sort of mischievous kind of, I act like your friend, but I'm not really your friend kind of a thing. Because asking about demons. Oh, right. Oh,
hang on. One sec. Okay, not a lot of new info.
Alright, I guess also it depends on what cartoon we're talking about. Like, you know, if we're going more traditional Disney, then we're definitely...
Or maybe someone like Bill.
By Master Riku.
See you, Master Riku. In terms of D&D demons, shoot. The only one I think would be in any sort... I guess a Lich. I guess.
We've never had a Lich.
Yeah. I feel like a Lich would actually work pretty well in the Disney and a lot of the Disney continuities.
Alright guys, I'm just checking to make sure. I'm just making sure I got it all.
Go to the back and make sure. Check the chest. Yeah, Lich. I feel like, especially if you're going the Final Fantasy route, Lich would. And I know this is a Disney cartoon, but a Lich would work quite well.
I'd love to see more Bill Cipher. Like, Liches aren't really demons, aren't they? More undead.
More undead.
Okay.
Well, I guess it depends on what you consider undead, and I guess it depends on what thing we're talking about, and I guess what you consider demon. Are we talking actual straight up demonology, or are we talking?
Let's go.
Because we're talking about demons. Oh, yeah. Come to think of it, I don't know a lot of demons, to tell you the truth.
Positive. Why do you ask?
I don't know why, but the way Sora says positive, it just seems like the most human he's ever been. That's a weird thing to say.
What are you talking about, Joel?
Or just the way Sora says positive, it's like, it's the most human he feels. I don't know why.
Yeah. If you go straight up demonology, then yeah, I wouldn't be able to help because I know next to nothing about demonology.
I don't know nothing about demonology either. I know red like cryptids.
See ya.
Ah, Sora. Someone once said in this game he's like, his face always looks like it's on the verge of tears.
Who did?
Oh, somebody I was listening to.
See, I don't get that. And in some scenes, yeah, but in others, not so much.
I would like it if Sora had more of a front to him, to be quite honest. He acts happy, but there's a lot more going on in his head.
I think that's what's going on.
I wish they'd show it more, that's the thing.
What do you mean, show it more? Well, actually, if you're going that, 3 is giving you exactly that, Joel.
I wish they would show it more in the other games.
Well, technically we got it in 1.
Like, Sora should be going through some PSD right now.
Well, Joel,
PTSD.
let's be fair. Well, Joel, let's think about this for a minute. We're talking 10 years earlier where we weren't as progressive as in the time we are now. Whether we love it or hate it, we are in a much more
You know,
open time about that kind of stuff. I mean, let's you and I be fair, Joel. The reason this game has a PG-13 rating alone is because of the Pirates world, and even that was a little weird for this game at the time.
Well, funny enough, I read the ET10 rating for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's like alcohol and fantasy violence.
Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess they really toned the pirate stuff down. I guess they wanted to get as much people in as they could.
It looks like he's aged by 3 years instead of 1. It's rather jarring.
I'll give you that, V-Griff. That was always kind of my issue with Chain of Memories as well, especially if you're going by the PS2 version. It's like, whoa, the dubbing here is really weird.
Well, that's the dubbing's fault.
Yeah.
In terms of the age, look, I know kids who look like they're in their 20s, but they're actually like 14. So.
Yeah, well, I know people who look like they're like 13 but are older than me.
Oh, I do too. I know people who.
So I guess the thing is, that kind of thing doesn't bother me as much, considering
people grow at different rates.
Exactly, especially much different rates.
You sure about this?
Also, obviously not the same person voicing Nominee.
For what?
Castle Oblivion.
Because in this scene was one of the final mix added scenes.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Sorry for just why I'm just listening. I'm also kind of tired. Also, I'm glad we're gonna do this now, cause like I've finally been able to like get to worlds again and just grind. Like, yay, I have something to do after we're done. I can just distract myself and just grind and grind and grind, cause that's gonna help immensely.
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna want to start synthesizing too, Joel.
You're gonna have to help me with that, Cole. But yeah.
Basically all you need to know, get the items that enemies drop, just keep fighting enemies, take them in, synthesize shit, pick up chests, that's all you really need to know. Because if you don't synthesize in critical, it's going to be very, very difficult.
You know, I'll always defend Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora. I'm sorry, I might be in the minority, but I don't think he's as bad as everyone else makes him out to be.
What do you mean?
Oh, I feel like people, when they say Sora's so dumb and stupid, they always sort of go to Kingdom Hearts 2 and Dream Drop Distance, and I'm like, he's not that bad in 2.
And 2? No, not that bad in 2. Yeah, make sure to equip the honeypot key, but yeah, indeed.
Oh, we're gonna have to do Winnie the Pooh then? Alrighty.
Yes, you're gonna need Winnie the Pooh for the 3rd level cure spell, too.
Oh, Yvey. Alright.
The other thing is, if you're going to Sora when he's at his lowest intelligence-wise Dream Drop Distance, you could actually probably even point more to Chain of Memories in a lot of aspects than 2. I hate to say that.
See, I like Chain of Memories Sora a bit more, though, than you do.
I do too, but the problem is, we're talking about intelligence level. Yeah, I think Chain of Memories Sora is a lot more. He got hit in some cases with a stupid stick more than he should have. He doesn't get to Terra level bad, but he kind of does, in a lot of ways, play into their hands a bit too easily.
Like how so?
For one, he's walking into a castle. He's not questioning how any of this shit is happening.
Gotcha.
Especially when you walk in, you're like, wait. And he's not questioning the people's motives who are following him, the guys that are stalking him. Something about that is a bit strange. Yeah, DD was not nice to Sora. I like Sora's emotion in Chain of Memories, but I don't like how he just rushes in head on, because at times it costs him more than it really should.
Do you think that maybe they should have played it up as sort of like arrogance, like, I just saved the universe, I'm invincible?
I mean, yeah, that probably would have been a better way to go, as like, I think I know what I'm doing. But that's the thing, we never see people question it. And the issue is when they do start questioning it, it's at the very end of the game when Donald and Goofy just say, hey, we need to stop and think about this. And I'm like, where was this, like, many floors ago? Because at this point, y'all have kind of played into it as much already.
Oh, says who?
I was sort of... Oh, there's Pete. Here's Pete.
It's you.
Oh yeah, here's Pete.
If I drank the memory potion, then the chances are Marluxia's plan would have been ruined earlier. If he had drank...
Exactly.
You know him?
Give me the memory potion? Or that just... being...
I think he's joking, but yeah, if there was one, it would have ruined Marluxia's plan much earlier.
Okay. Now, I was thinking also for later my Kingdom Hearts fanfic, one of the things I do is sort of do it like a Harry Potter, and like how everyone's saying, oh, you're the kid who beat Xehanort. Like, Sora's now famous for doing something really big.
Yeah.
And you just kind of play off of that a little bit.
Maleficent.
Oh yeah, then I took your advice, Cole. I got rid of that Organization 13 part.
Good.
Maleficent's power is so great that
Yeah, I told a bit of writing advice to anyone out there. If you're finishing a main part of your story and you're trying to set up parts, villain plot points for later, you do not want to overcrowd it with more than one. You want to give the villain plot coming up a little more focus. Because the moment you start setting up two villain plots, it comes off as a bit too cliffhangery. Vigor says, more like you are helping Maleficent. Yeah.
Well, yeah, who knows which Maleficent this is at this point. I question who we were fighting at this point.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, she's
either the one in Union Cross is the one we know, and that means that at some point in 3 she gets killed again, and she keeps going back trying to reverse what happens to her.
I still think it's...
Who lives in this tower anyway?
I would imagine it's a different timeline, though. I agree, because I'm like, Maleficent, you're telling me through all these time loops you can't figure something out, really?
of course he's probably a heartless by now.
Did Sora knocking you with his Keyblade knock you that stupid?
I still think
If I were Maleficent, I'd go after Kyrie again.
Here's a retcon, by the way. They didn't know Jensen lived here, and they're like, "You've been in this tower before."
Yeah, this is a really stupid retcon. I mean, you could maybe buy that they teleport here, but I highly doubt that's the case.
But you don't recognize the extremely uniquely designed tower?
Well, to be fair, after 2, all the retcons start getting kind of flimsy.
It's funny, I feel like after Birth by Sleep things... Nah, well, we could got Maleficent.
Ooh. No, if we're talking after Birth by Sleep, no, Joel, because Dream Drop Distance happens.
It's true. Oh yeah, that's right, the big one.
All the big crap in Dream Drop Distance starts happening. A lot of retcons. What are you doing?
I don't know, I just like messing around sometimes. I don't know, I just like running around. What was I gonna say? You know, I think another problem I have with Kingdom Hearts sometimes, at least when I'm writing, is like, I'm never sure how much to set up and how much, oh, let's just introduce it now. Like, Organization 13, they're now a thing.
A good rule of thumb, Joel, if you're gonna set up something,
yeah.
the thing, I'll read your comment in a second, Vigor. The thing, a good rule of thumb for your story is, if it isn't really playing into the chapter you're telling, or really doesn't play into it at all, I would kind of go against it. Or isn't going to really interact anytime soon in any sort of way, I would think twice about it, unless it's just a little small cameo. But if you're trying to integrate a decent part into that main part you're telling, but to the point where it feels like it almost veers off course, that's the kind of thing you want to avoid.
So, like, when I cameo Dance Water Dance Boy to infiltrate Maleficent's castle to steal something and have Riku stop him to gain Maleficent's trust, that's a good set, an okay cameo.
Yes, as long as you're not trying to completely set up Organization at that point.
No, well, it's more like a hint. Oh, what did Vigor say, by the way? I'm sorry.
Well, a hint is fine. I can't, and Vigor says, if that's the case, then whatever respect I have for Maleficent would be gone, unless there's another Disney medium where she's back to her normal self. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about.
All we know is that Maleficent's traveling in time, and she wants the Book of Prophecies.
Which makes sense, and I think she kinda got it because she was able to. Well, I don't even know. Well, we don't even know if she has it. She also wants the black box.
Well, clearly she's being either manipulated or teaming up with a new villain coming up soon.
Either that. Maleficent being stuck in a time loop. I think the time loop is working to her advantage, or at least was, because every time she tries, she's like, damn it, damn it, damn it, and then she finally gets taken out because apparently she was taken out enough because the guy who, or I don't even know if it's a guy, the person who has, put her in check basically is keeping her because she can apparently do more damage than even she realizes.
Which I kind of like that. It's like, hey, Maleficent's powerful enough that even this bad guy's a little nervous.
Yeah, or and the person who's talking to her says, you have knowledge that no one else does, which is interesting, and I'm not really sure what that is.
So if anything, whoever these new bad guys are, they're like, yeah, Maleficent, you're a player. You player.
Well, yeah, she's a player, because I imagine it's sort of the case that whatever was in the lost page of the Book of Prophecy, she probably does know. Or at least knows some of it.
Well, we do know...
the thing
Right.
In the Book of Prophecies, there was a page that was omitted from, I think, all the books. And that's a thing that was left out of for history to directly know about. She may know something directly affiliated with that.
Here's Yensid, never to do anything in this game except exposition.
Yes. Such a weird cameo. He's really only here to get the ball rolling. Oh, that's right, Vigor. Yeah, you're right. Gula does have it, or had it. I don't. Yeah. So. And we know, Luke might know about it, or the Master of Masters may have told him, I don't remember. And we know that out right now, the only one who knows what's in the black box is Luxu.
You know, I don't necessarily mind Yensid not doing much, because most of the wizard characters I know, like Dumbledore, they always stand back and sort of let the pupil fend for themselves until like things are necessary. I just would have liked Yensid to appear like a couple more times, like maybe near the end.
The issue with Yensid for me is that he kind of was set up as just the person who stands in the neutral mode. The problem is Birth by Sleep and Dream Dark Distance has that not be the case.
How'd you like my Yensid scene, by the way, Cole?
It was fine.
Good. I sort of have him and Merlin and Phil kind of be the team.
Yeah.
Because Phil and Merlin were kind of Sora's mentor figures.
Right.
Well, along with Leon, but Leon's not kind of in that sort of vein.
Oh, Yensid emotes before Jiminy does. That's sad.
Jiminy's already done with his... Oh!
You're speaking of back cover. Does anyone else believe that Master of Masters being the traitor? That's possible, though. Wasn't it said that one of the apprentices was one of them? Was it a traitor?
Possibly. The Master of Masters comes to me more like he knows what he's doing. He's got that kind of trickster.
Or not even knows what he's doing, just does what he wants. He does what he wants for the lulz. He's doing it for the fun of it, because the things that are happening is mainly because mainly that seems to be just what he wants to do for the fun of it all. That's where he can Misa back.
Do you think he's evil, or do you think he has a wider vision?
We will speak of the enemies.
The Master count himself among them. Maybe he is. That wouldn't surprise me. Considering he disappears after he talks to Luxu, that wouldn't surprise me.
You haven't watched back cover, have you, Cole?
No, I haven't.
You really should. Are we gonna watch these things before we do our commentary?
Yes, remember that we have to. We're doing that on. Yeah, probably. We're gonna have to do that before back cover, of course.
No, I mean, are we gonna? Again, the map's in the worst place. Well, that was pointless. Alright, let's read.
What were you saying?
I was gonna ask, are we gonna watch these, watch the cutscene library before, and then do our commentary, just so we have something to say?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Have you even watched it yourself, Joel? Actually, no, you haven't, because you don't have it.
No, I've watched it online. I watched somebody else.
You don't have the physical game copy.
That's right, that's gonna be your job.
Yeah. So no, I have not watched it yet. I'm just waiting for that day to come. All I know is just the basic plot points.
Do you want me to give you like an internet that sort of, because there's certain things in that from the mobile game that are kind of seated in. I could find like a cut.
Joel, believe me, I'll find it. You ain't gonna worry about that.
All right, let's talk to Yin Sid. Vigor said something.
Vigor. I mean, the fact that he mentioned to Luxu that he would have created a time paradox if he had the book of properties, which tells me that that was not meant to happen. Yeah.
No mistake about that.
I mean, it's hard to really put much stock into what the Master of Masters is doing because of just how eccentric he really seems to be.
Like, I can't tell, is he like a Bill Cipher evil character, or is he like a Q from Star Trek?
Oh, Keyblade War, yeah. Oh, which tells me the Keyblade War is not meant to happen. Well,
is he like a more reformed Discord, who sort of like, he likes chaos, but he has a point to everything he does?
he's not. He doesn't come across to me as the Kafka kind of character, whereas he likes just causing that kind of chaos to have fun. He doesn't enjoy another suffering. He seems more low key than that.
He likes the wolves, but he always has a point. There's a lesson to be learned here.
And he doesn't seem to want to inflict pain. And that could not be true. Who knows?
He doesn't seem like he's a malevolent figure.
No, but he doesn't necessarily seem like he's benevolent.
Well, you can still be good and not necessarily the nicest guy in the world.
Well, that's it. Well, I'm not even benevolent. I mean, all good. He might have some good in him, but he might not be all good either.
If someone with a strong heart
he might be playing. He might be a neutral party.
Fair enough.
Again, Joel and I could speculate about the Master of Masters all day, but even then, I think Joel and I would come up short.
There's just not enough to him. That's what.
Well, exactly. And what we know most of it is through Luxu.
He's incredibly shady. Yes, I can definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely shady, and we still don't even know much about Luxu for that matter.
I'm curious how much he's actually going to play to Kingdom Hearts 3, to be quite honest.
What's interesting is that if Luxu has an X in his name, does that mean he has the sigil? Does that mean he's been marked by Xehanort or something like that?
Well, that's the case, then did that mean Xehanort go back in time and do some shenanigans?
I mean, it's possible.
They are the most common form of nobody.
It's possible, especially with what Union Cross says, where if you don't have if we don't know much about the Forge Tellers in general, yeah, we know next to nothing about them other than what we get in back cover.
On your journey, you will meet
hell, we still don't know much about Larium. Marluxia's somebody.
Attempt to do you harm.
Vigor says unlikely since he wasn't born at that time. True, and I think because if Maleficent can travel back that far, because as far as we know, Maleficent wouldn't have been born then either. So and that's the other thing Union Cross retcons basically is that if you separate your heart from your own body at least once, you can go as far back as possible.
We think.
Now the thing is, you have to have a body in the future and have a version of you in the future for you to keep to forward jump.
So does that mean Maleficent forward jump to Kingdom Hearts 2?
I mean,
what that goal is, we do not know.
Do you think the Unverse will pop up in KH3? Actually, Master Riku, if you watch the trailer, they do.
And journeyed forth to fight.
Right, Joel?
Yeah, that's confirmed. I mean, Vanitas is there.
The Unverse of that has been confirmed. And long since the worlds have been splintered, they have popped up. Yeah, especially since Vanitas is walking around too. So yeah, they're up and moving again. And Vigor says, and it hasn't been that long since the world splintered. That is actually true. Yeah. So, I mean, it's possible.